welcome to Alum House Sound. My name is Dave, and today we're going to be doing some audio stuff. We've got kind of a vlog for the day because I want to go ahead and show you what I do live on a Sunday. Today is a little bit different. I got a last minute call that our sound tech was not able to participate today. So we've had somebody already on site that has set up the console, and they've gone through and done gain structure setting. That allows all of our musicians on stage to go ahead and set their monitors, and they should be good. So the person that did it is another one of my sound techs, but he's also leading worship today, so he's not able to run sound. Anyway, the gain should be set, but what I want to do is take you along for this ride where I'm going to jump in. We're going to go in with maybe the last 10 minutes of rehearsal. What I'm going to do, just so you know, I'm going to connect my laptop to the console. I'm running Studio One Pro, and that's my DAW. That's going to allow me to multi-track record the sounds that are coming in, and then I can go ahead and utilize that with a virtual sound check when the rehearsal is done, and I can run that back through the console, which is going to allow me to adjust and set up my broadcast mix. The broadcast mix runs off of a post-fader mix bus on our console, and so I've got control of all of that right in the one console. So our venue is a little bit different too. So we meet in a historic movie theater. I'll link some videos down below in the description if you want to see more about the space that we're in. But currently they've been redoing a lot of the seats. The seats have been there for I think 60 plus years, and they were falling apart. So they got a big grant. They were able to pull the seats out, but what that means is that all of our congregation, the people that attend our service, they're sitting up in a balcony, and our venue and our PA is not really designed to shoot to the balcony. We've made some small modifications with some 2x4s to aim our speakers and make it workable, but it's not ideal. The other thing though, down in the actual seating area where our tech team lives, there's usually 3 rows of seats. They've pulled out the outside 2 rows of seats, and that means that there are no bodies down there. There's no soft cushiony seats to soak up the sound, and with the hard marble walls that we have, it's like an echo chamber.
Why are we trying to wing it when it comes to generosity? That's not the path to real growth. Real growth comes from consistent intentionality.
In and of itself. What that means is that I don't have the capability to use my room mics. Not only are they too far away from our singers, but they're all like the congregation, but they also will pick up just all of this natural reverb in the room. Now, we are also racing BMX today, so I've got all the bikes on the car. If you're interested in finding out about the BMX stuff and the fitness stuff that we do, feel free to check out the other channel that I'll link up here, and I'll put it in the description below. It's called The Drivetrain, and we have fun doing fitnessy things. But we're here to talk about audio and go have a blast inside. Yeah, if you ever rode BMX bikes back in the 80s or 90s, that's what we do. We race kids' bikes around tracks with other people, and we have a blast doing it. So as you can see, we've got all these seats out on this side. Here's our middle row, and the far side way over there, also empty. But these hard walls really reverberate around. But we're up and running, so that's good. All right, Tech Life, let's hit to the board and get in there. What's up, man? All right, so I'm taking a quick peek here because they're rehearsing, so I've got kick drum. I'm just looking at my gains real quick. My one female vocal seemed a little hot, so I'm gonna, well, now she stopped singing, but I'm gonna go ahead and check that gain. I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit, and then I'm gonna check compression as well. Electric guitar, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this back up. Now I'm running groups. I'm gonna set my things at unity, and I have groups that are running over here. So if I go to this, I've got my drum bus here, and the drum bus is going to give me all of my drums just for the house, so I can make adjustments there. And then I've got a band bus, so I turn the electric guitar up. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the electric guitar as needed inside of this bus with sends on fader. All right, so female singer, I'm listening real quick. What I need to do is hit my recording in here. So back here, we should have a USB cable connected to the XUSB. I'm gonna close up the doghouse after I check my connections, put my laptop on. All right, so I just went up on stage. I checked my drum mics because the overhead and the kick were in the completely wrong spot. So I'm gonna check gain structure, but I'm also setting up this DAW. And what I'm gonna do here, come in, I've gotta select XUSB. Once it connects, I hit OK. I'm gonna start a new song, template here. And I open that template up, and it's gonna have all my tracks ready and armed, and all I gotta do is hit record. So I'm gonna hit record now, and we're gonna start mixing, let that thing cook for a little bit, and get down in here. So I've also got my iPad here with the Decibel X meter. Gives me an RTA of the room. Obviously without any of these seats around, it is a challenge. All right, so I went back through and adjusted some of these gains. Things were really hot. Now that the band is warmed up and cooking on stage, what I'm gonna do is come in here in my DAW, and I'm gonna add a flag, and this flag is gonna be where my gains are set. So when I just go ahead and add a marker in there, it's gonna help me go back to this part. I know that before this marker, I don't wanna use that material, but I'm not gonna stop the recording. Next thing I need to do is head up to the balcony way up there, because that's where our congregation is gonna sit. All right, so in this crazy venue, you can see these walls. These are like marble walls, and that's what's in the downstairs as well, which creates all that natural reverberation. But we're gonna come up here, we're gonna test. I've got my iPad with me, not for RTA right now, but because we're gonna go and just try and mix up here a little bit. They recently redid the seats up here, so these seats are really nice and plush. And a lot of times when I'm mixing broadcast, I'll bring my wireless transmitter and I'll sit up there in the projection booth so that I'm somewhat isolated from the room. And that's if somebody else is mixing. But right now, we're gonna get a feel for what this is gonna sound like up here, do a little mixing on the iPad. Now, when we put 200 people up here, it completely changes the vibe. So I'll end up coming back up here in the service, like after the first song has started, and I'll come up here with my iPad and just kind of alter things accordingly. Now this is kind of funny. I have the overhead and the snare muted in the house right now. So this is snare top, snare bottom, overhead. So that's just natural drum volume off the stage. So I'm gonna unmute these and see what we get. It might help to fill it out a little bit, but we don't really need much in this room because we don't have a cage drummer. Cage-free drumming around here. All right, so I'm pretty much done up here with getting a basic mix. Like I said, I'm gonna come back up. I'm gonna come back up once the people are sitting up here. But one of the things I wanna do is notice the fact of the dB level that we're gonna read up here compared to what's gonna be down there at the tech booth, because these are point source speakers. So these speakers are QSC, three-way top cabinets. They're 15-inch, a 10-inch, and a horn. And then we've got an 18-inch sub there, and we've got the same thing over on this side. All we did was take our speakers and angle them back with a 2x4 to try and get them to reach up here. It is not ideal. Our PA is not set up to throw up here, and what that means is that I have to run the floor at almost 93 dB to get a feeling of like 84 up here. So it drops significantly, filling up all of the space with air. So let's look and see what we get. right, so we're seeing a peak of 85, 87. The board. One of the other things I keep noticing, here's my pad input. We've got a radial DI up there and brand new cable, but for some reason, my left signal, you have to wiggle the cable. And so instead of fighting with it, I'm just gonna go ahead and select this. I'm going to unlink, so it's no longer linked. I'm going to mute my left channel. All right, now I can turn it down, and I'm gonna pan this one back to the middle. So that's gonna be important because that way we're gonna get one signal in, we'll just spread it wide and just work with that everywhere else. So that being said, the band is done. I'm gonna go run my broadcast mix real quick and see what I get. All right, so now we run a thing called Q to Q, where we go from Q to Q. Oh, hold on, sorry, I forgot to put my routing back. There we go.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah.
So we just run all of the things. We run the beginning of each song, end of each song into the next one. So I'll get a little bit of a sample of how things are going to start here. But we do lighting cues, pro-presenter cues, camera cues. We just kind of run the beginning and end of each song, just detect transitions and all that other stuff. So. New bumper video, kind of sounds like Legend of Zelda, kind of fun. All right, at the end of that, Pastor Mike unmuted.
All right, hey everybody, good to see you. 333.
Checking gain structure.
You shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those.
Bring that down a little bit.
So that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes
check
the
our
sun rise
compression.
on the goodness and rain on the just and on the unjust. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? If you greet only your brothers,
all right, sounds good to me. Good and even. And understanding that this is going to be a little hotter down here.
Just want to check on the slides that I tweaked a few things this morning. Aaron, do we have 5 points, not 6?
All right, so we're now at the point where we're going to go backstage. They're already back there, but I was refining the stream mix. I've got to make sure that I flip my inputs from card back up to my AES50 inputs. And I'm not going to be recording multi-track for the service, so I'm going to go ahead and shut that down, unplug it, put the laptop away, and then we're ready to run service like normal. Got our pre-service music. I'll bring that up here in a second, but that's copyright music, so we're not going to do that just yet. All right, y'all, so that's a quick glimpse. I'm not going to take you through the whole service, but we're going to go backstage, pray with the team. But hopefully this is helpful, a little education for you about the things that I do on a Sunday morning when I come in, especially when it's last minute like this. We've got the tech stuff set up already, but I was able to come in quickly, plug in my laptop, get some multi-track recordings running, then dial in gains and stuff. Once I got the gains set up, you saw me toss a flag in that recording. That way I knew from there forward, everything was usable content. We also made sure to do the sound check with the band. I checked those drum mics because they were a little wonky and not right where I wanted them to. And we dialed in EQs. Eventually, what I just finished up now is hitting that broadcast mix and making sure that it was refined so that all I have to do now is run faders for the room. Everything will follow in the broadcast. The biggest things that I find is that my kick drum and my bass guitar will naturally want to take over that mix. So I try to set that without the PA turned on. That's why I wait for them to be done. I flip my inputs into just from my card, and I mute the PA, and I go ahead and set that up. So anyway, fun space. We've got all of this missing seats to deal with. We've got all the people up in the congregation that we're going to work with, and I will walk up there with my iPad mid-service just to see how that feels. But outside of that, that's a Sunday morning here at the Byrd Theatre. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.